Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Rupan the third, the woman called Fujiko Mine, episode number 5 reaction. So the previous episode, it was the beginning of another story, a little mini story. So basically here the story is kind of like the Phantom of the Opera. And Fujiko's goal is to get her hands on the crown that the main actress, or the main, like, like, the not actress, sorry, the lady who sings, you know um what she wears, that mask. Her objective was to get her hands on that, and Zenigata appointed her to do that because Zenigata wanted to lure Lupin out with Fujiko, while Lupin is here originally to get his hands on that, like, the jeweled crown thing as well. So everyone's, like, objectives kind of intersected in the same point, so everyone is here, and the whole story, like, plays out. But in the midst of everything, we get to see another underlying plot ongoing, where the main girl, the main lady, she actually faked her injury, her burn in her face, and she went into hiding. And there's a body double who is acting as her on stage. She went into hiding because she loved that guy. I forgot his name. And they're, like, living together, and like, and the guy, and the lady who is being her shadow double is just a person that she trained to sing. So all these things are happening, and in the end, like, Fujiko, and Rupan gets to know about it, and it kind of ended there abruptly. So I feel like it's going to continue from there. So let's see what happens today in this episode. So yeah, let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles on the timer here, sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Hmm. Oh, wait. Wait, is this a continuation of... Wait, Mora still doing... Hmm. No, this is not the continuation of the previous episode, or is it? Why is it shining? I was wondering, like, why is the rose shining? What the... Oh! Ah. Hmm. Smithsonian. Oh yeah, he did do that. I remember. Bro, stop it. Yeah, you. What? Hmm. Ooh. Hmm. Right. I don't think she wants it for that particularly. She probably just wants it. Oh, this is the. Uh, oh. Oh, this is the Egyptian mythology. Hmm. Oh, Jigen. What the hell? Yeah. Bro. I see. Hmm. Oh my god. Oh, there's the scale. What the? Why would someone do that? By paying money for it. Really? I'm sure it's a trick. Yeah. Yeah, everyone's looking at him. What the hell is this? Okay, bro. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, thank God for that. Everyone's throwing shade towards him. Yeah. Okay. Oh wow. Yep. Hmm. Oh, wait, the blue and the red. Okay. Hmm. Interesting. Just like the rose, that changed color from red to blue. That Alexandrite, I think that's what. Oh, well, this is where they're going to meet, aren't they? Jigen and Rupan. Like, if you think about it, Fujiko made Jigen, but Rupan still hasn't met Jigen. Hmm. Oh my god. What the? Is this real or is it some hallucination? Oh, it's a trap. Or not a trap, but a contraption. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Okay. Who is? Is this? I know this is. Oh, nice. Oh, it is him. Yeah. What about you? Ooh. Well, you're. Yeah. Worst possible answer. They hit the birds. Oh god, Jigen will win. Jigen is way faster than Rupan. I think like, oh damn, bro, what in the? Yeah, it's not. Oh, he also counted the amounts of bullets. Damn. Okay, is that Jigen and Rupan? Right, he reloaded the gun. Oh boy, I feel like Rupan's going to wait for the last moment and then nab the peacock from Jigen because that's what he does usually. Oh no, he also fell. Okay. Okay. Oh my, are these like traps? What the hell? What is this video game? Like this is like some kind of a video game. Oh my god. This reminds me of something. Like obviously a video game, but which video game? Damn. Oh, this reminds me of like Tomb Raider or like the Uncharted, like something like that. Oh my god. Come on. It's like what? Oh, is that Rupan? He's following him, isn't he? Oh, has a scale. Um, was there someone? Was someone supposed to be? You need help. Rupan's like, let me help you. Yeah. 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 Oh, that's what he did. Damn. Hmm. Oh, I see. That's how it. That's why he's waiting. Yeah, you have to put something on the scale. Hmm. Probably his gun. Maybe his gun. Hmm. True. All right, there you go. Oh, it balanced. Whoa. Okay. All right. Um. Hey! Wait, was there some kind of a trap? That was some kind of a trap. Oh, okay. It's gonna stop if you put. Oh my god. If they put it on the sarcophagus, it would have stopped. It's literally a video game. Oh god, there she is. Rookie Magnum. Yeah. Record of another route. A secret makes a woman woman. And from Detective Conan, that quote. Yeah, that's great news. Oh wow. Yeah. So we're just here for. So we're just here to become the Jews, bro. Oh my god, Jigen's like, damn. Right. Oh, this that can work. We can use the scorpions as they also have blood. Right. This wait is blue. Oh, this is bad. Oh, oh really? Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was red. Okay, never mind. Yeah, it makes sense. They shot the. Oh, that's what they did. Ah. Oh no, it's bad because they said like if it turns blue, then it'll like be death. So yeah, all the traps will probably trigger. That's literally what it was implying. Yeah. Oh wait. Oh, there it is. Okay, don't try to get it. Hello, Fujiko? I feel like there's some kind of trap. Oh, yeah. Okay, that is death. Bro, no, you cannot do anything. Oh no! Yeah. Hmm. Oh, there you go. The smoke, where it's going. That's smart. That makes sense. The only opening, the smoke will go through there. Oh no, it's turning blue because of the. Ah, you have to leave it. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, because if you take it out, it'll always turn blue. Hmm. And because it's in here, like in the, in the darkness, that's why it's red. Wow. Oh my god, I feel like he stole his bullets or something like that. He has done. Let's see. Whoa. Oh, there you go. There's your peacock. Rookie. Oh, you will. Hmm. Damn. Yeah. Hmm. All right. Okay. There you go. I was wondering when Jigen is going to meet Rupan because that actually didn't happen up until now. So there you go. Now it has happened. Oh, also, Goemon also hasn't met Rupan. If I think about it, like Goemon met Fujiko as well. However, not Rupan still. So that's another thing that will happen in the future. I'm guessing. Hmm. Is that it? Yeah. All right. That was this episode. Okay, another great episode. So today's episode was basically Rupan meets Jigen and them confronting each other. And yeah, Jigen, what's funny? You see that Jigen from the beginning, very beginning, Jigen is like, damn, like, like you're like doing all of this for her, like, I don't understand your tastes. It's funny that she's literally like this from the very beginning, because as we know, like in the future, like this is literally what Jigen is. Like basically cannot look like, cannot tolerate Fujiko. And whenever something related to Fujiko happens, he's always grumbling and he's always like, God damn it, why do you always have to do this for someone who's going to betray you by the end of it? You know? And and yeah, and Lupin and it's funny to see that this basically originated from the very beginning. And it's so funny, like, like it's just such a interesting like dynamic that all these characters have. Is that like obviously like the way Jigen like sees the whole situation is like Jigen is like actually, I guess you could say, like his reaction is pretty normal here. Like if someone betrays you like Fujiko does at the drop of a hat every single time, you know, why would you even try to do anything for them? And why would you even be obsessed about them? And that's why Jigen is always like, what is wrong with you? Like she always betrays you by the end of it, and you always keep going for her. Like, like, and as he says here, like you have weird tastes, like someone who basically wanted to make a juice out of you, you literally just still chasing, like, towards her. And and the funny thing is, Rupan is whole perspective on this is literally the opposite. Like Lupin like clearly says here that, where is that part, that something that I steal, if it doesn't bring me trouble, it is no fun. That is Lupin's motto. And you can see that is exactly the reason why his and Fujiko's like dynamic like matches so well, because that is literally what it is. Fujiko is someone who brings trouble to him every single time, and he enjoys that, you know and all these betrayals, all these things that he goes through, he likes that. And that is the only thing, like, that like we've seen this before as well. Lupin has multiple times told us that the reason why he keeps doing these like jobs, like, these stealing, like these robberies and everything, is for the excitement. He likes some spice in his life. And like Fujiko Mine is kind of like the embodiment of that. She is nothing but trouble, and Lupin loves that. And that is exactly why he always tries to go for Fujiko. And if you think about it from Fujiko's perspective, like why does Fujiko chase? No, I wouldn't call it chase, but why does Fujiko also, like, like kind of go along with Rupan with all these, like, like shenanigans? Is because like Rupan is also someone who never gives anyone, um is never, who cannot be caught, who cannot be stopped. You cannot make Rupan like stop from this whole thing. He will never settle down. That is like the Rupan that everyone loves. And we kind of talked, like, went through this whole thing in season 4, as far as I can remember, with the whole Rebecca situation, where, like it was clearly like established how, like like Fujiko herself told Rebecca that, like you're in, like what you're trying to do is very, like, like paradoxical. You're trying to, like, like stop, like, bind Rupan into something, but at the same time, that's not the Rupan that you like. The Rupan that, like, like you like and we like, is someone who is free, who is like this. So it's like the duo is like the dynamic between these two is so interesting. Like Rupan wants something that would make trouble for him, and that is literally what Fujiko Mine is. While Fujiko is someone who would, try to chase something that will never get caught, and that's what Lupin is. So in a way, both of them like knows that the other person is literally what they want. Because yeah, that's what it is. Like Fujiko, you remember in this episode, like this season as well, I think, which episode was it? Was it the second episode? I think so. Like Fujiko herself said something along the lines of, like, I'm trying to run away from my past or something like that. Like she kind of implied that, and she's trying to, like, like something like that along those lines, that she's like on the run from something, and like that kind of thing. So if you think about it like that, like Rupan is someone who's always on the move. So I don't know, I feel like her, like chasing Rupan being someone who will never get caught, or who is always on the run, is perfect. So that is why she can also be on the run forever. And I don't know, it's like a weird thing, like like each have, like the other have the one thing that the other person wants. And like that is why Rupan is so obsessed about Fujiko, because Fujiko is someone who he knows is going to bring trouble to him. And while Fujiko, you know like not now though, but later in the future, has a little bit, like of affection towards Rupan, because of how he is, how much of a free spirit he is, how nobody can stop him, how he will always be someone who cannot be caught. And yeah, it's just it's such an interesting, dynamic. And while Jigen is literally the only normal person in this situation, who's like, what the hell is wrong with you? This girl betrays you every single, like, drop of at every drop of a hat, and you still try to follow her and do what she wants you to do. But that's what Rupan wants. Rupan wants her to make trouble for him. That's what makes him happy. So, yeah, that's the whole thing. It's funny. Oh boy. But anyways, yeah, right. Like this episode, we get to see Rupan and Jigen meet, and obviously, like the first meeting isn't really that, much of a smooth sail, but by the end of it, they're like, see you later, and they leave. And like, I don't know, like obviously, like this, like it's pretty obvious that, like different Rupan series have like different versions of the first meetings of the different characters. So I think like nothing really is like the canon one. Like everything is like, the same. That is, I feel like that is like the beauty, the charm of Rupan, where there isn't really like a canon, like, at least that's what I think, or that's what I know. Correct me if I'm wrong. There isn't really like a canon storyline. Like, oh, this is the one. This is how they met. I've seen so many different versions of how these characters met each other. Each story telling like something, some different story, each like thing. So, and I feel like that makes it even more charming, because that is literally what Rupan is. Like Rupan is a character who is just filled with lies and deceit, and like a very mysterious type of a, like a character. So the storyline really not having like a canon storyline, and everything being real at the same time, kind of brings like a different type of charm to it. you know like, I don't know, that's what I how I look at it. So I'm thinking, like, comparing this to all the other Rupan, we know like Jigen and Rupan becomes like the best of friends, you know and they like literally become like partners in the whole, like, like the whole crime, like the things that they do, the different things. So I'm thinking if that's what's going to happen here as well. This is the fifth episode. Like a few more episodes, not few more, but I think like how many? 7 more episodes. I think this has 12 episodes, or is it 13? I don't know. Whatever episodes there is, within these, like, these couple of episodes, I do wonder if they will at least become friends by the end of it. You know, not friends but partners by the end of it, because every single, like, like show, or every single storyline that we have seen of Rupan, he and Jigen are the best of friends. You know, so like they barely met each other now. So I'm wondering if this will also kind of go in that same direction, where by the end of it, they'll actually become good friends, and they'll trust each other. So I do wonder about that. Let's see. That'll be kind of interesting. But anyways, so yeah, this episode, Fujiko tries to, like make Rupan go and get this Alexandrite peacock, and Jigen also gets like the same mission. So they both meet in this pyramid. They like face off against each other, then trigger some traps and almost falls to their death. And then Fujiko comes in, and Fujiko's like, tricked you. Like there's two of you there. One person, like there's a juicer in the end. One of you needs to get juiced, and the blood will act as the activator of the thing. So one of you will have to die. Sorry about it, guys. She just leaves. And yeah, Rupan uses the scorpions, to her as advantage. I knew he was going to use the scorpions. However, I didn't know that scorpions have blue blood. I didn't know that. Even Rupan says that I didn't know that scorpions have blue blood. But I guess it does make sense because obviously, like I'm guessing scorpions don't have hemoglobin in them. Wait a minute, do scorpions have blue blood? Scorpion, blue blood. Typically blue in color, the presence of copper-based molecule named hemocyanin. Oh, that's why. Ah, so instead of hemoglobin, they have hemocyanin. Wait a minute. Hemocyanin, which is used to transport oxygen in their bodies. Oh, that's also okay. That is also something that transports oxygen. I guess it's hemocyanin, hemoglobin. Okay. Right. So, all right. So, yeah. So I'm guessing the pigment of hemocyanin is blue. That is why it is blue, while the pigment of hemoglobin is red. So that's why our reds, like our blood are red. So that's interesting. So that is why the whole legend, which is said that if the peacock is red, then it'll bring wealth to you. If it turns blue, then it'll bring death to you. And that's literally what happens, But Fujiko still gets her hands on the peacock and tries to rush off. But in the end, they realize they have to put it in that slot so that they can get out of there. And yeah, they do it. She loses the peacock, but she's like, "Oh, you want to steal me, don't you? Okay, then do this. Do another mission from me. Uh, don't disappoint me." And then I don't know what exactly is Rupan going to do now, but I'm guessing which will probably assign something else to him, which he'll probably have to succeed in to win her over or whatever. But we'll see. Yeah, let's see. Oh, and in the end, obviously, he and Jigen confronts each other. And then when they get to see the peacock, they're like, yeah, you know what? Not today, I guess. Later on. And yeah. All right. Okay, so great episode. Now let me talk about this episode scene by scene. So the first part of the episode, we get to see Fujiko. Now I don't know why, but I thought maybe this will be continuing. The previous episode will be continuing, but I guess the previous episode ended there. It was the end of that story. But I don't know. I thought maybe since it was written to be continued, I thought maybe it's going to continue to this episode. But none of that happened. So Fujiko here is just floating around in like a pool, and she has this treasure. So Rupan is there as well, and Rupan has brought an Alexandrite rose bouquet. And he tells, he kind of shows the whole trick where, when the light goes out, it turns blue. Yeah, wait a minute, just a minute. No, wait. So it's red. Under daylight, it's blue. Under firelight, it's red. Oh, okay. Under firelight, it's red. Under daylight, it's blue. Oh, okay. So, okay, I made a mistake. I thought that if it's dark, no, not dark. So under the light of fire, it's red, and in daylight, under daylight, it's blue. I think that's what it is. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That is why in the end he said that if you take the peacock outside, where will you find daylight? It'll turn blue. So okay, right. Anyways, right. So she's like, oh, if you want to woo me over with this, you better bring me a better one. So he says, Lupin's like, oh, you're talking about the Smithsonian one. If you raise the bar too high, you'll set yourself. Okay, all that. Um. Okay. Right. So then she says, okay, so I have a different one for you. And she talks about the pyramids in Egypt, and she talks about how, they have found out one pyramid where there's a legend that whoever holds that, there's a peacock, and then whoever holds that peacock will obtain great wealth. So we have to get that. Now, so this is Lupin's mission. Now we move to Jigen, and Jigen here talks about a legend in the Egyptian mythology where there's a scale, and the dead person weighs their own heart against, against what? Wait a minute. On one side of the scale is Mars feather of truth. Ah, okay, okay. That person weighs their own heart against it. Okay. If the sins occurred during the life are heavy enough to tip the scales, he will never be reborn. Wait, so if the sins occurred during life are heavy enough to tip the scales, he will never be reborn? Wait a minute, that's interesting. Because as far as I know, like, obviously, like, you know, like, like as far as I know, like, our goal is to not be reborn again, to be, like, to get assimilated into the universe. Isn't that our goal, ultimate goal? Like, we say that we will be reborn if we have something left to do in the world, like, if we have some, where we're not content with something. And that's why people, like, like, try to attain enlightenment. Like Gautama Buddha, he like, like, he attained enlightenment, and he was able to, like, detach himself from the worldly, like, the worldly, what do you call it, like, the things that, like, bind you down to the world. He was able to detach himself from that, and that's why he was able to, like, be enlightened. And finally, he, like, his soul became one with God. He assimilated with the universe, or however you say that. So isn't that the goal, to not get reborn? That's interesting. So here they're saying, if your sins are heavy, if you have sinned, then you'll never be reborn. That's interesting. I was thinking it would be, if you have sinned, then you'll be reborn again, to make amends or something. That's interesting. Okay. So it's opposite here. Okay, interesting. Right. Anyways, so he was reading all of this, and it was in the boat, and everyone's, like, looking weirdly at him because, and he's like, oh, like, no, everywhere I go, I cannot conceal my sordid past. Anyways, so he's, like, going through the streets here, and he finds a kid who's like, hey, mister, like, you want me to, like, scale, like, like, weigh your sins? It's funny how he's like, oh, you want to weigh me, weigh the sins? You have to pay me for it. I'm like, why would someone do that? Why pay for something that's going to depress you by the end of it? I guess if you are confident enough that, you haven't sinned, you haven't done really that many bad things, I guess then you can do it. But someone like Jigen, who knows he has sinned, why would he pay money to see whether he has sinned or not? Like, anyways, he's like, oh, you're afraid, mister? You afraid that, like, that, yeah, like, that it'll be a bad, like, like, a result. And every person, like, on the street is looking at him, and he's like, all right, fine, like, do it. So he puts the the thing, and he just drops down, and he's like, oh, you've tricked me, haven't you? And this is one guy who tries to nab his bag, and then there was that monkey as well who also grabs it and, like, rushes off. So in the end, he loses his stuff except his gun. So he's like, good God, like, like, what now? So he goes to, I'm guessing, pawn off the gun or whatever. But, this old lady, she's like, oh, I have a better mission for you. um you have to steal the peacock, and that is why he's also off on his journey towards the pyramid. So both Rupan and Jigen are going towards that the same place, and yeah, so we see that Jigen has finally reached the pyramid, and he's seeing the whole place. There's a lot of traps and everything, and there was like one elaborate trap where, like a mouth of, not mouth, but like the body of like a, like a sarcophagus. I don't know what you call them. That face comes up, and someone's like, "Oh, leave this place." And I was like, "Is this Rupan?" Using like a voice changer or whatever. Yeah, that's exactly what was going on. So it was Rupan who was doing it, and he almost falls to his death, but then he like clings to the, like like the edge and shoots the thing, which shows that it's actually Rupan who is behind the voice. So this is the first time that Rupan and Jigen has met, and they start their gunfight, and there's other traps over there as well, which kind of like hinders them a little bit. But then, taking that opportunity, Jigen whacks Rupan, and like rushes off from there. There's a few things that happens. Number one, both Rupan and Jigen were counting their bullets, to understand like when the other one will run out. Number two, Jigen was using explosive bullets, I think, where he dashed off and shot the debris that was almost going to fall on top of him. Another thing, Rupan stole his bullets, didn't he? Using this opportunity, he kind of talks about it later, but like there's quite a few things happen here. So Jigen, like gets out from that situation and rushes off to find the peacock, and you know finally he comes across the place where it is. So there is a sarcophagus. Inside it obviously is a mummy. There's another place where there's like a carved indentation of that sarcophagus. So what we have to do is, I'm guessing, get the, what do you call it, get the mummy and put it on the other side, which will probably stop the trap from triggering. I think that was the whole like thing that they had to do to stop the trap from triggering. But we see what happens later on. For now, in front of the sarcophagus there is a scale, and Jigen tries to pull the sarcophagus up. It's not working because obviously it's supposed to be a puzzle, so you cannot really pull it up. So Lupin comes in and Lupin's like, "Oh, should I help you?" Obviously Jigen is not surprised. Jigen knew that he didn't die over there. So here Lupin gets his gun back and he's like, "Oh, you should return what you borrow or people will call you a thief." Jigen says, "You're the one who stole my bullets and pulled a fast one on me." So yeah, when they were struggling, he grabbed his bullets. And he says, Lupin says, "Do you know the safest way to spring a trap? You exercise extreme caution and let a skilled gunman handle it." But those explosive rounds saved you, didn't they? "A bullet that explodes upon impact is a wonderful thing." Oh, so that was actually Rupan's. Okay, I see. So yeah, that makes sense. So basically, he nabbed his bullets, and Jigen took his gun, and his gun had the explosive bullets in it, which ended up helping Jigen out ultimately. Then you should have just switched to all 6 of my bullets. Sorry, I only made 5. That's clever and all, but it looks like, okay, there you go. So he's like, "Yeah, you know what? That's all well and good, but you were waiting for me to come here. That means you cannot do anything here. You actually need my help." And Lupin's like, kind of clicks his tongue for a moment. Now, okay, now they're like, obviously they realize that they have to put the heart on the scale. But Jigen is like, if we put the heart to balance it, obviously we're all sinful people. It's going to tip, So he's like, "Yeah, there's not a single person alive who hasn't sinned. It'll definitely tip. Especially," and Lupin says, "especially for us sinners, right?" So here's what he says. "What are you scared of? Even without God judging them, everyone knows exactly how much they have sinned, don't they? Which is true, you don't need a scale to understand if you've sinned or not. Unless and until you're delusional, you know. Unless and until that's the thing, like, yeah, you know how much bad things you have done. You know the whole thing. If you're delusional, then that's another thing. But anyways, first of all, even if rebirth is the reward, there's no guarantee that the next life will be any fun. Like, this is the thing that is interesting. Like I said, like, I have, like, up until now, like, I've obviously, like, that's the whole thing of enlightenment, is to get out of the cycle of rebirth, to not be reborn again. That is the ultimate goal, as far as I know, from, like, like, the from, like, Hinduism, like Buddhism, like, that's what I have learned. So interesting to see that in, like, the Egyptian mythology, it is said that, as he says, that the reward is being reborn again, which is kind of the opposite from what we are trying to do. Like, that is getting enlightened and, like, kind of get assimilated with the world, the universe, and not be reborn again. That's interesting. Okay. An uncertain future either way, huh? Okay, that's why it is best to just enjoy it. That's what Rupan says. There's nothing wrong with looking forward to having a little bit of fun. Yeah, and this is what Rupan does. He loves taking risks, He loves, like, doing stuff which is uncertain, which is going to bring him trouble, as he said. That's the stuff that he loves. And the thrill, that's what he wants, and that's what he enjoys. That's why he's like, yeah, let's enjoy it a little bit, and puts it there. Funnily enough, it doesn't tip, and the sarcophagus opens. And they take the mummy out. As soon as they take it out and they're going to put it on the carving, the indentation, the trap triggers. So this was the thing. Like I said, this really reminded me of video games. I remember, like, the whole, like, the puzzle type video games, especially like Tomb Raiders or Uncharted, where you literally, there's, like, puzzles like this where you have to do a certain thing to, like, for certain things to get unlocked and all that. So this is literally that. They had to take the mummy, put it on that other place. I'm pretty sure then the trap would have stopped. They didn't know any better that they had to do that. So before they could react, the whole place started tipping, and they weren't able to put it on the intended place. So the trap started. The tap was literally, the whole thing is going to tip, and they're going to fall in a quicksand. And underneath the quicksand, there will be like a juicer kind of thing that's going to completely squash them. That was the trap. Sorry about that. Yeah, in the sand whirlpool, and Fujiko was just there on, like, on the side, and she's like, oh, hey guys. So she recognizes Jigen, and she's like, oh, it's you wimpy guy or whatever, And Rupan's like, wait, you know him? Like, and, like, like, all that stuff. Um. So she shows them another different path that I'm guessing she has used. The traps on it are mostly broken, so that's how she came here. Okay, and this part is really, like, interesting, really funny. When Rupan says, like, oh, you're a woman of secrets, and she said, just take a woman's secrets and she'd have nothing left. I don't know if this was intentional, but there's literally a quote in Detective Conan, um, made by a character. Her name is Vermouth, and she says her quote, like, it's like one of the most iconic quotes of Detective Conan, is that a secret makes a woman woman. And I don't know if, like, this came out when 2011 or whatever, I don't know, something like that. Like, this one, Detective Conan came out way before that, even though Rupan came, like, the original Rupan came out way before Detective Conan. Like, that's the funny thing. Rupan, the original Rupan, obviously, I think it is very old, and then came Detective Conan. As far as I remember, Detective Conan started in 1996, and then after that, came this, the woman called Fujiko Mine. So I'm not really sure which one is the original. Is the Detective Conan one original, or if this is actually like a quote from, like, Lupin or whatever. Like, who? You know what? Let me just check. Who is this? Like an actual quote? A secret makes a woman woman. Hmm. No, it is from Detective Conan. Yeah, it isn't. I was thinking if it was like some kind of a actual quote or something. Right. No, so yeah, it is a quote from Detective Conan. So I don't know. Anyways, I won't on a tangent, but this is quite funny because like, um, yeah, like if you think about it, like if I now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, Fujiko is like the whole Fujiko Mine, like the whole persona of Fujiko Mine is kind of like Vermouth, where both of them are like badass, like female characters who are like who lives the life of crime and like there's like a certain character archetype of Fujiko Mine, who reminds me of like like certain characters in anime. Like Fujiko reminds me a lot, like the whole Fujiko Mine person, like like thing is like this whole badass female like character is like such a like prevalent thing in many other like um like like be it like movies or like like comics, like other animes as well, like this whole thing. Like for example, um like Fujiko reminds me of Faye Valentine from Cowboy Bebop, and who else? A lot of other characters like this. Like she also reminds me of Vermouth from Detective Conan, you know, and this whole like like thing. Um, Let me bring some video games up. From Resident Evil, she reminds me of Ada Wong, and like her and like Ada Wong and Leon's whole chemistry. Like that's literally what is like Rupan and Fujiko. And what else? Like this type of thing. It really reminds me of. It's like anyways, so yeah, like it's very funny that they use this quote here: "Take away a woman's secrets, and she'd have nothing left." Because this is literally the quote from Detective Conan. Okay, anyways, so she's like, I've been stuck here because I couldn't figure out how to get past the trap. And she says like, there's a juicer in the bottom. Falling to the bottom of that is being. Oh no, wait. She says falling to the bottom of that is like being run through a juicer. Oh, there isn't a juicer. Never mind. She says that if you fall through it, it's like literally like a juicer. Your blood is going to get splattered all over. And when the blood of the sacrifice is squeezed out as an offering, the peacock gracefully flaps its red wings and soars. And she says, like, oh, don't worry. When one person falls into it, the trap will stop. So don't worry about it. So one of you will have to die. And yeah, she just moves and like just stops there, like goes away. And here Jigen and Rupan start quarreling with each other. And Rupan is like, oh, how do you know Fujiko? And Jigen's like, I literally don't care. I'm like, I'm going to like like defeat you here and all that stuff. But then they realize when the scorpions come in, they realize like, wait a minute, we have another thing we can do. So they use the mummy and the scorpions in it to paint the peacock in blue. And like they said, according to the legends, red is fine. Red is going to bring wealth and fortune. But if it's blue, it's death. you know and that's what happens. Like as soon as the peacock turns blue, and Fujiko's surprised. Fujiko's like, what the hell is this? But as soon as that happens, yeah, the thing does end up opening, and like the peacock, like Fujiko does get the god damn it, does get the peacock. However, the trap starts triggering. So I'm guessing if this was the red, like if it was red that colored the peacock, and it was blood, like red blood that actually like filled the whole thing, I think the traps wouldn't have triggered. That's probably what would have happened. However, since it was blue, the traps triggered. And but Fujiko's like just obsessed with the treasure, and she grabs it, and she's like, oh, it's so great, like like it's got from Alexander, it's huge. This is a real smiling peacock. And when all those insects starts coming in, like and it almost like gets on top of Fujiko drops the peacock, and she's like, oh, get away from my peacock. And she tries to burn the insects, and the whole place starts catching fire. And they realize like, all right, you know what, there must be like some way to get out of here. The smoke like is going on top and going out from the side, so they realize that's where, like, you know, the escape is. So they break that part and they start moving towards it. And then they finally comes across the exit, but the exit is blocked unless and until you put the peacock in that thing. Fujiko is not happy. Fujiko's like, I finally got it, finally, like, you know. And Lupin says, if bathed in sunlight, Alexandrite turns blue. Give it up. The red peacock that brings wealth exists only inside this pyramid. Yeah, that's true. Because here you can find the fire, you know, like the fire's light. However, if you bring it outside, it'll be daylight and it'll turn blue. So the red peacock cannot exist outside. It'll be the blue one. Unless you want to be trapped in here and become the legendary peacock yourself. Yeah. And obviously Fujiko is like, by the end of it, Fujiko decides to put it back. And yeah, and then Fujiko's like outside. Fujiko's like, alright, you know what? You were talking about like stealing me or whatever. How about you take on another challenge? Lupin says, oh, you're talking about the Smithsonian one, is it? And she's like, no. The bar rose again. Do not disappoint me. Here's when Jian is like, I don't understand your tastes. You know, like, and he says it. I think this is where he says it. Where is it? Don't you think it would have been better to leave her trapped there and become the peacock? For you and for her? And says, Mine Fujiko is a peacock. No matter where she is. I don't get your tastes. So they're like, let's do the duel then. But then the peacock, you know, the original peacock, it's there. And they're like, you know what? Let's just do it later. And yeah, he introduces, he's like, my name is Jigen Daisuke. And he's like, I don't know if I'll be able to remember it. Yeah, but obviously we all know that they become good friends. So yeah, he looks at the peacock and he's like, oh, a wild one. A lot of symbolism in this episode. And it flies away. Lupin's like, wait, so they can fly if they feel like. Yeah, obviously this was a symbolism, like, because, you know, like, she compared Fujiko to the peacock. And yeah, that's where it ended. Right. And yeah, that was this episode. Great episode. Rupan met Jigen, you know, finally. And yeah, so let's see where this goes. So that is it. That is my reaction to episode 5 of Rupan the Third, the woman called Fujiko Mine. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed, comment down below. Anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, I'll check them out. And that is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of The Woman Called Fujiko Mine. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.